Hello! Hello! Hello, welcome to Choose Your Illusion 2. Let's get this character sheet that I found up. And we're going to start by reading what a fighting fantasy book is like. We're going to do character creation and everything. I was going to So initially, I said I was going to go through the rest of Grimrock Isle and summarize the rest of the plot. The plot does what you think it does, and the cool parts I don't want to give away, in case anyone wants to play it, or in case I want to steal them for anything. There are a bunch of cool sanity things. So instead, and I was going to do random choose-your-own adventures, but I decided, you know what? I've been talking about doing a fighting fantasy. Let's actually do it. And yeah. I was looking through them. I looked at online to see which ones were the best ones, and I was thrilled. This is the one I wanted to do anyway, and I was thrilled to find this on the top 10 list. I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to get in the room. This is an intimate group. But House of Hell, like, my God, look at that font. What's that demon doing? Holy shit, like, tell me this doesn't look amazing. So we're going to be amazing together. So you'll see that my character sheet here, I hope that this can save. I don't actually know that to be the case. But that's my hope. And I'm recording for the audio of this in case I ever do anything with the audio, which I will do at some point. Yeah, so let's get into it. I think Cole is looking to play role-playing games after this. Jesus Christ. Like, this is good. This is, on shows we talk about Britain having those like shitty isometric action games, and that is true. However, we had Choose Your Own Adventures, and they had this stuff. So go England, go Britain. And let's just get started with this. And like I said, I'm reading the beginning because this is a totally new. This is a game book. It's not a choose your own adventure. So there's rules and stuff, and I want to get those on tape, and I want everyone to be able to hear those. So let's get started. How to survive the House of Hell. The House of Hell is a little different from previous fighting fantasy adventures. You start your adventure unarmed, with no provisions or potions, and you have to avoid being frightened to death. Before embarking on your adventure, you must first determine your own strengths and weaknesses. To see how brave, lucky, and resourceful you are, you must use the dice to determine your initial skill. I misplaced my physical dice, which I like the sound of those, but I'm going to go ahead and use this dice roll over here. On pages 18 and 19, there's a character sheet, which I can record, use pencil, etc. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use this digital one so I don't ruin these books. Okay, skill, stamina, and luck. Let's create our character. Actually, we can name our guy here too. What's a good name for somebody who's exploring a haunted house? I will try not to die. Let's say this is Maximilian. Let's say this is Chauncey LeDick is this character's name who is exploring this haunted house. And let's determine Chauncey LeDick's skills. Roll one die, add 6 to this number, and enter that in the skill box. So if I hit here, I get 3. So my plus 6 equals 9. Nice. Okay. This is my initial skill. In this adventure, your starting skill is less because you're unarmed, but you still have the opportunity to arm yourself. Roll both dice, add 12 to that, and that's my stamina. That's actually pretty good. So 9 plus 12 is 21. Oh. Okay. There's also a luck box. Roll one dice and add 6 to this number. That's my luck. Okay. just want to make sure this is, I just Googled this. Okay, so this is giving me different results. So my luck is 8. I just want to make sure that it wasn't a messed up program, since I got the same result 3 times in a row. So my luck. For reasons that will be explained below, skill, stamina, and luck scores change constantly during this adventure. You must keep an accurate record of these scores, and for this reason, you're advised to either write small in the boxes or keep an eraser handy, but never rub out your initial scores. Okay, so I'm going to represent that. Can I do slashes here? No. Okay, so I am going to jot down on actual analog paper like an idiot these skills, since it looks like my maximums are important. And actually, there's a note section here that I can add those to. So my initial stamina is 21. My initial skill is 9. My initial luck is 8. Okay. Your skill score reflects your general fighting expertise, the higher the better. Your stamina score reflects your general constitution, your will to survive, your determination and courage. The higher your stamina score, the longer you will be able to survive. Your luck score indicates how naturally lucky a person you are. Luck and evil are facts of life in the devilish domain you are about to explore. Battles. You will often come across pages in this book which instruct you to fight ghosts, ghouls, men, and beasts, the 4 genders. An option to flee may be given, but if not, or if you choose to attack the creature anyway, you must resolve the battle as described below. First, record the creature skill and stamina scores in the first vacant evil encounter box on your adventure sheet. So that's what these things are. So I get to put the guys in here. The scores for each creature are given in the book each time you encounter them. The sequence of combat is 1. Roll both dice once for the creature. Add its skill score. The total is the creature's attack strength. Roll both dice once for yourself. Add the number rolled to your skill score. This is your attack strength. If your attack strength is higher than that of the creature, you have wounded it. Proceed to step 4. If the creature's attack strength is higher than yours, it has wounded you. Go to step 5. If they're the same, you have avoided each other's blows. Repeat. 4. You've wounded the creature. Subtract 2 points from its stamina score. You may use luck here to do an additional damage. See below. If the creature has wounded you, subtract 2 points from your stamina score. Make the appropriate adjustments. Begin the next attack round by returning to the thing. Okay, good. That all makes sense. This did not tell me how to use luck. Make the creature's adjustment. Yeah, this does not tell me how to use luck, but maybe that will show up later. Okay. The heading known as fear. Fear, as well as surviving your adventure by ensuring that your stamina never drops below 0. In the House of Hell, you must avoid being frightened to death. Before you begin your adventure, roll 1 die and add 6 to the result. 3, so 9. This will give you the maximum fear. Fear. 9, aka the fear factor. Maximum fear score you can bear. Your fear score is the number of points you could take before being frightened to death. This is italicized every time it pops up. During your adventure, you will come across situations where you must, for example, add 1, 2, or 3 fear points. Your fear score starts at 0, and you must add fear points as instructed in the text. If your fear score reaches the maximum, then you are frightened to death, and you must end your adventure. Note that fear works in the opposite way to normal skill, stamina, and luck scores. You start with 0 and increase your fear score towards the maximum rather than subtracting. I don't think that actually matters. I'm going to just subtract. Escaping. On some pages, you may be given the option of running away from battle, should things be going badly for you. However, if you do run away, the creature automatically gets 1 wound on you, subtract 2 stamina points as you flee, such as the price of cowardice. Note that you may use luck on this wound in a normal way. See below. So we are still going to get to luck as a resource. You may only escape if that option is specifically given to you. Fighting more than one creature. If you come across more than one creature in a particular encounter, the instructions on that page will tell you how to handle the battle. Sometimes you'll treat them as a single monster, sometimes you'll fight each one in turn. Weapons. You begin the House of Hell adventure with no weapons. As with other fighting fantasy adventures, your skill score reflects your combat ability with a weapon. So, before you start off with your adventure, deduct 3 points from your skill score. And note this as starting skill. Do not, however, change your initial skill, which is your maximum. Okay, so our acting skill is actually 6. I'm going to put a slash there. Okay. Etc. When you, if you find a weapon, which will be identified in capital letters during the adventures, the text will tell you how many skill points the weapon allows you to add. These points are added to your starting skill, not your initial skill. Okay. Luck. At various times during your adventure, either in battles or when you come across situations in which you could either be lucky or unlucky, details are given on those pages, you may call on your luck to make the outcome more favorable. But beware, using luck is a risky business, and if you are unlucky, the results could be disastrous. The procedure for using luck is as follows. Roll 2 dice. If the number rolled is equal or less than your current luck score, you have been lucky. If the number is higher, then you have been penalized. This procedure is known as testing your luck. Each time you test your luck, you must subtract 1 point from your current luck score. You'll soon realize the more you rely on luck, the more risky this will become. So our luck is 8. If we're rolling both dice, the first time we do it, the odds are in our favor to get below 8. See the 7 right there. But the next time it would go down to 7, we'd still get it. Sorry, I'm wasting a lot of luck with these rolls here, but the idea being the more you use luck, the harder it is. That is a cool mechanic for a game book. Using luck in battles. On certain pages of the book, you'll be told to test your luck and will be told the consequences of being lucky or unlucky. However, in battles, you always have the option to use your luck to either inflict a more serious wound on a creature you have wounded or minimize the effects of a wound that has just been inflicted on you. If you have just wounded a creature, you may test your luck as described above. If you're lucky, you have inflicted a severe wound and subtract an extra 2 points from the stamina score. However, if you're unlucky, the wound was a mere graze, and you must restore 1 point to the creature's stamina. Instead of scoring 2 normal points, you have now only scored 1. If the creature has wounded you, you can test your luck to minimize the wound. If you're lucky, you avoid the damage, so you only take 1 point. If you're unlucky, you take an additional point of damage. Okay. Remember that you must subtract 1 point from your luck every time you use it. Here's a great illustration again. This spooky voodoo doll kind of thing. Okay, restoring skill, stamina, luck, and fear. Your skill, stamina, luck, and luck scores may change during the adventures. Your skill will increase, starting skill, if you find a weapon. Your stamina will drain as you fight creatures and may be restored by eating or resting as instructed by the text. Your luck will run out as you deduct 1 luck point every time you test your luck. Occasionally, a particularly lucky find or encounter may restore some of your luck. Your fear score is built up as you go through the adventure. Each time you're frightened, you'll add to your fear score. Occasionally, when you get the opportunity to relax, the text may instruct you to deduct points from your fear score. Note that any bonuses you're awarded can never be used to exceed your initial scores. Good. Hints on play. There's one true way through the House of Hell, and it will take you several attempts to find it. That's where fighting fantasy books fail with the format of this show. So we're going to be telling the story of just one of those, one adventure through the House of Hell that could end very soon. Make notes and draw a map as you explore. I want to note that this character sheet thing I have here has the maps available. So they're kind of spoilery, but I'm going to do this rather than draw a map just because I don't have a setup for that, and that's going to be lots of watching me draw, which I think is boring. Let me mute that. Remember to make a note of any advice you receive. Write down any messages or special reference numbers you're given. Some rooms are death traps, and others are chambers of horror. Be warned. It will be realized, that's a weird sentence, that entries make no sense if read in numerical order. It is essential that you read only the entries you're instructed. The one true way involves a minimum of risk, and any player, no matter how weak the initial dice rolls, should be able to make it through fairly easily. May the power of good go with you. All right. And here's a character sheet there's some pencil marks that are erased, which I love. I think that's charming. And here is the background. So let's get ready for the House of Hell. The rain spatters on the windscreen relentlessly. You can see no more than a watery gloom as you strain forward towards the steering wheel to see the road ahead. Although the wipers flap valiantly, they are fighting a losing battle as the rain drives harder and harder. Your foot eases off the accelerator. The headlights struggle to light up the road. Damn, you curse the white-haired old man who sent you along this bumpy track. Probably he meant the second turn on the left, or even the right turn. The old fool. Perhaps this is his idea of a joke. After all, didn't you notice a mischievous glint in his eye? Something vaguely sinister? But what sort of nonsense is this? So you've taken a wrong turn and got caught in a downpour in the night. The rain will ease off soon. It can't possibly keep this deluge up for long, and then you'll be able to... Watch out! You spin the wheel frantically to the left to avoid the figure who, from nowhere, shows up in the headlights. The car bumps and jolts as it bounces over the rocky roadside and thumps into a ditch. You collect your thoughts. You're unhurt, but shaken. Then you remember what has happened. The body! You must have hit the figure that appeared. There's no way that you could have avoided him. You spring out of the car, praying that he's still alive. Your clothes soak up the rain as you hobble back to the road. In the darkness, it's difficult to see anything, but there's no sign of a body. You consider the situation. Are you certain that it was someone and not a trick of the light? Yes. You can remember the arms held up in fright as the car collided, and the look of anguish on his face. His face. There was something familiar about that face. A man you recognized. An old man. A man with white hair. Your heart leaps. No, it's impossible. With a shiver of fear, you race back to the car, jump inside, and force the key into the ignition and twist it violently. The starter coughs, sputters, and dies. You hit the key again, but this time a single shutter is all the engine can manage. You grasp the wheel with your hands and shake it desperately as if to force some life into the car, but the battery is dead. Your car is certainly not going to be budging from the ditch tonight. Your situation is hopeless, but now the plight of your car is paramount. Where can you get help? You passed a garage in Mingleford, but that was some 20 miles away. I didn't pick up this book to go to fucking Mingleford. As if in answer, a light appears in the distance. Someone has switched on a bedroom light. What a stroke of luck! It was at least 15 miles back that you passed the last house, and you happen to have broken down a short distance from someone else's house. You button up your coat and open the door. From outside the car, you can see the building more clearly. Just ahead on the left, a drive winds up to the large house. It's a good 5 minutes away, and by the time you reach it, you'll be drenched. But how else can you call the garage? You can't afford to miss tomorrow's appointment. No, go on you must. Anyway, you'll probably be able to dry off inside after phoning the garage. You slam the door, turn up your collar, and set off for the house. A flash of lightning lights it clearly for you, but in your preoccupation with the rain, the warning from above is wasted on you. The house is old, very old, and in a shocking state of repair. The light of the window is flickering. Most likely an oil lamp, certainly not electric. And you don't notice a fact that might have turned you back anyway. There's no telephone line going to the house. As you climb the steps to the front door, little do you realize what fate has in store for you. Tonight is going to be a night to remember. Now turn over. You climb the creaking steps up to the front door and pause to catch your breath. Even though you ran all the way up the drive from your car, you are soaked through. Your feet are particularly wet. Judging by the number of puddles you stepped into in the dark, the drive needs a small fortune spending on repairs. Yeah, there's some Britishisms in this. The drive needs a small fortune spending on repairs. But under the porch, you are, and I imagine that's under the roof of the porch. Under the porch, you are out of the storm, and you brush the rain from your clothes before turning towards the door. The rain is still pelting down, but an eerie silence hangs in the air. No lights are on downstairs. You step back off the porch and check the upstairs window, which attracted your attention earlier. Nothing. No lights. The whole place seems to be deserted. But then you remember the time. 5 minutes to midnight. Everyone in the house has probably gone to bed. An owl hoots in the distance, and a shiver runs down your spine. The situation is a little scary. Here you are in the middle. Thank you for spelling this out. Here you are in the middle of nowhere at some strange rundown house about to wake up whoever lives inside at midnight. They certainly won't be too pleased. But you have no choice if you're going to make your appointment tomorrow. You must reach a telephone and call for help. You step up to the front door. From the left-hand side of the house, a dull glow catches your attention. A light has been turned on. You breathe a sigh of relief. At least someone is awake. You consider your options. There is an elaborate knocker in the middle of the door and a bell pull hanging on the right. Will you rap on the door with the knocker, pull the cord, or creep around the house to investigate the light? I think that we should creep around the house, guys. Because when Yo investigators so smooth, when they creep around the house, they really creep around the house. I want to see what's going on with that light. 289. Yes. Okay. You walk from the porch around the side of the house. A light is indeed on, and it's shining through a window at the back of the building. Do you wish to go around and see if you can see anything at the window? Or do you walk up to one of the other windows along the sidewall and see if you can enter the house without anyone knowing? That seems presumptuous. Let's go check out the light. I want there to be a ghoul there. So 345. Hopefully this doesn't kill us all already because I already made this character. And, Chauncey LeDick is not about to go do anything else. Okay. The lit window is next to a back door which leads to a kitchen. Voices are coming from the kitchen, but you can't see anyone. Whoever's in there must be standing in the back wall, out of sight. You strain to hear what's being said. There appear to be two people in the kitchen, and they are talking excitedly. Master is getting ready. I'm starting to get excited. I've never been to one before. Do you really think that we may be visited? Another man's voice, rather more controlled, replies. You know, I'm having doubts about this whole affair. She is so young, and she came here in all innocence. I just don't know. The two men walk around the kitchen, and you can see them more clearly. They're both dressed in white gowns. One is a good deal younger than the other. Do you wish to knock on the door to see if they'll let you in, or do you wait and listen a little longer? I mean, I feel like the safe thing is to listen a little bit longer, right? Hopefully that's not. I'll leave that up to chat. I don't want this to be too cowardly. I'm not so invested in winning the House of Hell that nothing terrible happens to us. So what do you guys think? Do we knock on the window now, or do we listen to more of these two cultists in their white gowns? What do you guys think? First 2 votes gets it. I'll take a break to hydrate here. It's not hydrating at all, but to caffeinate. Yeah, wait. Okay, that's what I wanted to do as well. Okay, 68. The younger man turns to the older one, and angrily says, Master's teachings are not for the faint-hearted. You know of his power and his promises to us all. Perhaps you are no longer strong enough to stay with us. The older man turns away, towards the window. He's hiding the look on his face, which is one of nervousness and fear. He realizes he has said the wrong thing. No, he stammers, I'll be all right, just momentary weakness. Come, let us get on with the preparations. Together, the two men leave the kitchen, blowing out all the candles on the way. You wonder what they are talking about. Now you must choose your next move. Will you try the kitchen door to see if you can sneak inside, or go around the front and knock? Yeah, I also think I'll leave this up to you guys as well. Should we try to sneak in the kitchen? Do we learn enough in a role-playing sense? Like, what would Chauncey Leduc do? Is he going to be put off by this? Is he genre aware enough to be put off by the cultist? Or do you think that he's still a hapless businessman who's going to go knock at the front door? What do you guys want to do? The front door does have an elaborate knocker and a pull bell. So I have multiple ways to get in the front door. What do you guys think? Kitchen or front door? This is when I put these out in audio form, I'm not going to edit out these silences either. So Chauncey sounds like a guy who likes knockers. It is an RP server. I just so I don't hear knockers used as a euphemism for boobies all that often. That's a good one though, knockers. I have no fear built up. This is I've never done anything yet. So let's go to the front door. Let's check out the front door. He's still going to be polite, and he just said, I wonder what that was about. So in an RP sense, he doesn't know, even if we know. So let's go to the front door and knock at 357. A few minutes later, the door handle, so we did knock. We got to use the knocker. We didn't do the pull bell, which is good because we don't want to wake up the whole house. That's rude. A few moments later, the door handle turns slowly and the door opens. Standing in the doorway is a tall man dressed in a dark suit and tails. His long face is solemn. Yes, he asked indignantly. You smile nervously and explain your situation. Your car is broken down and you need to reach a telephone and you're soaked to the skin. The man's face remains expressionless. Come in, he orders. The master is expecting you. Follow me. He leads you into a reception hall and tells you to sit down while he informs his master of your arrival. Turn to page 8. Or section 8. You sit down in a solid carved chair and look around. The reception hall is certainly not what you would have expected from the outside. It is elegantly decorated with rich tapestries and fine oak panels. A number of portraits line the wall. A sturdy 16th century table is set against one wall. While you wait for your host to arrive, turn to page 277, study the paintings, turn to 304, or hunt for a telephone, turn to 238. So what do you guys think? I'm thinking look at the paintings, because they're probably going to do spooky shit, and that also doesn't feel out of character for Leduc. So let's study the paintings, 304. I want one of them to turn into a ghost. Three portraits are particularly interesting. Will you look at the beautiful young woman wearing a tiara, a middle-aged, portly gentleman wearing half-moon glasses? That does sound interesting. Or an elderly woman with gray hair and a cold expression? Geez, I don't know. Seems like you'd have time to look at all three paintings. Since Ledick is a confirmed knocker hound, let's have him look at the young woman with the tiara at 151. A plaque beneath the painting reads, Lady Margaret of Danvers, 1802 to 1834. You stand and admire her beauty and wonder why she died so young. As you're staring at her face, you suddenly blink and look again. Did you just see her lips moving? Surely not. A whisper reaches your ears, but you can't make out the message. You lean forward and put your ear to the lips. A soft woman's voice is speaking to you. Stranger, be aware of this place. Beware of this place, for it is cursed. Many have succumbed to its evil power, myself included. The evil Lord Kelnor will already be plotting your death. Drink not his white wine, or if you can, be gone. Escape while you may. You step back aghast. What sort of place is this? A creepy rundown old building filled with priceless antiques and paintings that talk? A cold trickle runs down your neck and you add 1 fear point. Will you run for the door or wait and see what happens? All right. So, whoops. Yeah, I think that that's pretty scary. What do you think? Should we run or should we wait? The painting is friendly. The painting is on our side. I think that if I were in this situation, I probably would run, even though we only have 1 fear of 9. But I would be scared by this thing. So I think I'd run. I don't think it's going to let us get away. I trust the painting with the life of Ledick. Okay. Yeah, let's try to run for the door 391. Hopefully we don't win. I'll be very upset if we win. Okay. We don't. You race across the door and twist the handle. Ah! You stifle a scream and release the handle immediately as an electric shock runs up your arm. Lose 2 stamina points and turn to 277. Okay. So we can't avoid our fate. And let's take that damage. Okay. Footsteps. Someone is. Oh, this guy's cool. Okay, footsteps. Someone is coming. The tall man. Actually, I'll show you this guy to you so we know who's coming. Look at this slick Rick. Okay. Footsteps. Someone is coming. The tall man you met earlier walks in, opening the door for another tall man dressed in a purple smoking jacket. May I present Lord... I can't remember what voice I did for this guy. May I present Lord Kelnor, the Earl of Droomer, the butler announces. The Earl holds out his hand, and you shake it. The grip is strong, and his eyes pierce yours. His lips widen into a soft smile. You begin to tell him of your predicament, but he holds up his hand. Please, I can see that you have been caught in this filthy storm. Let us sit by the fire, and we will see if we can help. Franklins, tell the cook to prepare some food for our visitor. You protest that you do not wish to be any trouble, but your host ignores you and leads you to the drawing room where a fire is burning. You take off your coat and sit down. The heat of the fire makes you feel comfortable once more. Franklin's returns with 2 glasses of brandy. Will you relax, drink the brandy, and ask if you can use the telephone, or you wait to see what he asks of you? Interesting. So the painting said, don't drink the white wine, and that's probably worth a note, I think. But the painting said that didn't say anything about brandy. Don't drink white wine. White wine. Okay. I feel like the painting telling me not to drink white wine would make me not want to drink the brandy either. I don't want to be impolite to him. Yeah, I think this guy's definitely seems so. I think I wouldn't drink. But I can't not drink and ask about the telephone. I can just wait and see what he asks. So let's see what he asks though, because I want to hear drink twice as much brandy. Let's see. Let's just wait and see what he says. Turning to 111. Your host is a little annoyed by your nervousness. Come, he says. There's no need to be afraid. Has your little accident caused you to lose your nerve? Drink your brandy. You'll soon forget your fears. As you watch him, your mind begins to play tricks on you. Is his expression one of genuine concern for your welfare? No. Or is there some hint of something secretive in his eyes and smile? You shiver, and your fear of the situation is evident. Add one fear. We're gonna end up dying of fear by not doing things. Add one fear point. A short while later, Franklin's appears. Your meal is served, sir, he says to the Earl. You both rise and go through the dining room. Turn to 309. I like that this game is punishing me for being a coward. The dining room looks magnificent. A long table stretches between two fine chairs and is laid with gleaming silver cutlery. A rich red wallpaper is covering the walls, and the room is lit by a sparkling chandelier, bristling with candles, which hangs from the ceiling. You take your seat, and the butler moves behind you to offer you wine. Will you take the white wine or the red? We know this. We take the red wine. Take care, Shivering Fire. Thanks for checking this out, and it'll be on YouTube if you're interested later. So we take the red wine. Turn to $3.95. If that was a trick portrait, I'll be mad. The wine is impeccable, a fine vintage. Soup follows, and then you may choose either lamb or duck. Or you can tell your host that you've already eaten and you're not hungry. That seems like the best option, even though I like that this is this level of detail. And the painting didn't say like, do not eat the Duke's duck. So shall we go on a duck feed, or shall we decline food, and drink on an empty stomach? The truest whore of all. What do you guys think? You folk. Duck feed. We got one vote for eating the duck. And it does seem appropriate. And I don't think, that might hurt our stamina or make us fight a goblin, but I don't think it's going to be immediately. Okay. And duck is rare, right? Like, when in real life, when you get a chance to eat duck or a duck food product, things are going pretty well for you. Let's eat that duck. 115. More like Chauncey the Duck. Your mouth waters as a roast duck is laid before you. The Earl is having the same. Oh, that's good. And you both chat as you eat. He wants to know how you came to be driving along this road in the middle of the night. And you tell him about the old man's directions. You ask him about himself and his family. Turn to page 28. The Earl of Drumer is the last survivor of his family. His estate... Oh, man, this is a good illustration that's not actually what we're doing, so I'm not going to show you guys. The last survivor of his family. His estate stretches for miles around the house. At one time, the estate was prosperous, with many tenant farmers cultivating his land and providing a healthy income for his family. But things started to change. His sister died at the age of 32 under mysterious circumstances. That's probably his sister who we saw before. She was found dead in a clearing in the woods with strange marks on her neck. News traveled fast, and the ignorant peasants started muttering about witchcraft and black magic. In their eyes, the house was cursed. Pure superstitious nonsense, of course, but gradually the farmers moved to newer pastures, avoiding the estate. By now you've finished your meal. Franklin returns to offer you fruit, cheese, coffee, and brandy. Which will you take? Jesus Christ. We can take fruit, coffee, and brandy, cheese, coffee, and brandy, or just the cheese and coffee. What do you guys think? The level of detail in what you eat, and this is like a Murakami novel. What do you guys think? So the options again, we have 3 options for this. Fruit, cheese, and brandy, cheese, coffee, and brandy, or just cheese and coffee. And I assume that you dunk it. So we got 1 vote for everything, 2 votes for everything. We're doing all 3, or cheese, coffee, and brandy. The second one. 2 votes for cheese, coffee, and brandy. Turn to 74. It's not going to kill us in one hit, I don't think. Okay. And this seems like it was an okay option. You finish your meal. The Earl rises to his feet, saying, "Our conversation has been most enjoyable, but now you must be very tired. Franklin's will show you to your room. Let us retire." What? You stand up. He's right. You are tired. Now he drugged me. It is well past midnight. You stumble and reach out to steady yourself against the table. Whew. You didn't realize you were that tired. Have you have had too much to drink? Your head is spinning, and the voice of your host becomes part of the background noise, which is getting louder and louder in your ears. Eventually, you collapse to the ground and lose consciousness. Okay, we definitely got poisoned and stuff, but that's good. We want to do adventures. So turn to 173. You open your eyes. Your head is spinning, and it's some time before you're fully aware of the fact that your hands and feet are bound. The room that you're in is empty, but you work out a plan. You'll hop over to the window. Jesus Christ, this is the pacing on this. Hop over to the window, break the glass, and use it to cut yourself free. Pulling yourself to your feet is awkward, but you manage to do it with a mixture of hops and scuffles, and you arrive at the window. Outside, the wind is blowing, and the rain is pounding against the window panes. Will you go ahead and smash the window with your hands, something of a risky business, or will you instead test your luck? If you want to test your luck, turn to page 136. I feel like we should probably, you know what, V Klaus? I bet you that's true. The different paintings probably gave us different hints about what to do, which is pretty clever. I think we should probably test our luck. Our luck score is 8, so the odds are just barely in our favor for that. And we haven't tested it yet. So let's try testing our luck. Let's go to page 136. Okay. Were you lucky or unlucky? So that's how we got to find out. So we roll 2d6 here. We click this and we want to get under an 8. Everybody cross your fingers for me. We got or 8 or under. So we got it. So our luck now goes down to 7. And we were lucky. If you were lucky, you managed to escape the splintering glass without harm. If you're unlucky, you take some harm. We didn't take the harm. Turn to 317. You cut yourself free and massage your wrist to get the circulation moving again. Then you walk over to the door and try it. It's not locked. You try the handle and open it a little bit and look outside. Your room is on the first floor landing. Facing the door is a balustrade. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. And looking over the banisters, you can see the entrance hall below. To your left, I think in this might be a British thing as well. I think the first floor actually was what we would call the second floor in America, because from implication it seems like the entrance hall below. To your left, there are 2 doors in the corner of the landing, which run along to the right. If you wish to go this way, turn to 287. Looking to your right, the landing runs past another door and turns to the left. To go this way, turn to 33. Okay, that one more time. So we're facing the banisters, and we can see the entrance hall below. Trying to get a mind's eye of this. To our left are 2 doors in the corner of the landing, so I'm thinking like the second floor, that landing in the Resident Evil mansion. So we can go there, that run along to the right of me, to my left. Or to my right, the landing runs past another door and then turns left. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, my video game sense says to do the one in the corner first because I want to be a completionist, but I'm also just trying to get out of this situation in an RP sense. So I'm kind of torn between my identity as a person and my identity as a gamer. So let's go left, I think, or yeah, 287. Let's try that. It's a little bit arbitrary as well. So 287. You walk up to the 2 doors in the corner of the balcony. The one on your left they have names, is named Balthus, and the one in front of you has no name. If you wish to enter Balthus, enter the Balthus room, turn to 299. If you'd rather go through the other door, turn to 86. If you choose to ignore the doors and continue around the landing, turn to 193. I'm not going to not go into a named door. Let's see. I got to find out who Balthus is and maybe fight him so we can get some combat in this episode. Let's enter Balthus, 299. Hello, I'm Balthus. Enter me. Okay. The room you've entered is bare. Pinstriped wallpaper covers the wall. A hearth is set in the center of the room, and on the mantelpiece there is a small wooden box. Curtains are pulled together along another wall, but they hang awkwardly, bulging in unnatural places. Do we want to investigate the curtains, open the box, or leave the room? I feel like we should investigate the curtains and then do the box. Like, they're bulging unnaturally, which makes me think that there might be Balthuses about. Let's investigate the curtains. 249. Slowly and quietly, you walk up to the curtain. There's no movement from it. You grab the left-hand curtain and fling it open. There's a full-length window behind, which is barred from the outside, but nothing is hiding there. You take hold of the other curtain, but before you can move it, the bulges, you notice, have come to life. Turn to 236. Balthus bulges. Oh, shit. Yeah. From behind a curtain, a heavy blow hits you in the chest and knocks you backwards to the floor. Lose 2 stamina points and gain 2 fear points. Jesus Christ. All right. Let's not get scared to death here. You pick yourself up quickly and the curtain slides to one side. A human figure steps out. Its skin is a dirty green color. Its wide eyes stare at you, yet through you. Its jaw gapes open to reveal a mouthful of half-rotten teeth. It wears ragged clothes, and it's advancing towards you. Resolve your fight with this zombie. All right, let's do a fight. Okay. So it is a zombie. Okay. Its skill is 7, and its stamina is 6. Okay, so we have pretty good odds, I think. Hey, Jeremy. Let's fight the zombie. So we fight. I wounded the monster. Lost 2 stamina. Great. Let's fight it again. Yeah. Okay, good. I got hit and lost 2 stamina. That's a bummer. Did that change it up here too? Nice. I defeated the monster. Dun, 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 dun. If you defeat the monster, turn to 114. And actually, now that I think about it, this is using our maximum skill. We still haven't found a weapon. So our skill should have actually been significantly lower than that, but I'm not going to worry about it. Next, I'll do that for next time. I forgot about that little bit of the rules. Do I wish to leave the room or investigate the box? We're definitely going to try to get some treasure. Turn to 40. I want to check out a haunted box. Girl. Okay. The box rattles when you touch it. There's something solid inside. You undo the catch and open the lid. Inside you find a small key. You try the key on the door and it fits. The key turns and unlocks the door, allowing you to leave the room. You find that you are in the corner of the landing. Oh, so I got locked in, I guess. And there is an unmarked door to your left. If you wish to go through it, turn to 86. That was the door that's next to the Balthus room. If I wish to go straight ahead, I can see the main staircase leading downward, going to 193. I'm going to put a small key here. It seems like a good idea to just try to get out of here, given how scared I am. So let's try that. Let's try to go that way, 193. This isn't like Grimrock Isle where I'm trying to solve a mystery. I'm just trying to survive. A short distance further on, you come to the top of the main staircase that leads downwards. Immediately opposite the staircase is an unmarked door. Do you wish to go downstairs, try the unmarked door, or continue around the landing? I think that we want to go down the stairs. Yeah, the zombie's name was Balthus, so I do not know why that is the case. Let's go downstairs, 132. This might not be the smartest thing. It's possible we need items and stuff from up here, but I think we can always go back to, assuming we survive. You walk down the stairs cautiously, looking in every direction. There's no one about. In the hallway below, you may try either the door on the left or the door on the right, or you can walk to the front door and open it. The last time we walked to the front door, it shocked us. So is it worth trying the front door again, or should we try to find another way out? Part of me thinks that like Bart's hamster, I would not try the shocking door again, especially since that took 2 stamina from us, and we're not doing super great on stamina and fear. If that fears us again, we're in rough shape. So I think we'll try one of these doors. And I'm going to go ahead and try the door on the right, which I think leads eventually to that kitchen, if I recall, which is a good place to be because we know there's a door there. 285. The door is locked. I can either try the door opposite or creep back to the hallway. Let's try the door opposite. 353. The door opens into a large but cozy drawing room. The dying embers of a warm fire burn in the hearth. Heath. Comfortable chairs are arranged around the fireplace. 2 glasses and a decanter stand there on the glass top table between the chairs. There are plants and tall stands on either side of the windows, and there's another door next to the one you came in. Do I wish to explore the room further, 119, or leave through the other door, 218, or have a little tipple from the decanter? I could stand to be knocked out again. I could just knock myself out again, then just wake up again with my arms and feet bound. I'm not gonna do that. Let's explore the room further though. 119, because we're looking for a phone still, even though we the player know there isn't a phone attached, but the character does not know that. Will you start by looking through ornaments on the corner shelf, or will you examine the fire mantelpiece? Let's do ornaments. 192, because we might be able to do both. There are several delicate items of pottery and a few silver pieces on the shelf. One of the silver ornaments is a short dagger. Yeah. You may take this with you if you want. It's rather short to be really useful, but nonetheless you can add 2 to your skill in a fight. Okay, that's great. So our effective skill is now 8, and we have a small dagger. There's also a silver hip flask. If you've not already done so, you may take this flask and fill it with brandy. Yeah, let's. I want to have a flask full of brandy for use on my enemies. Flask of brandy. It's a fine booze. What a good booze it would be. Now let's examine the fireplace at 303. A fine carriage clock sits in the center of the elaborately carved wooden mantelpiece. A number of letters are jammed in behind the clock, so you can reach for them. In doing so, number of letters. Oh, like paper letters, duh. As you do so, your sleeve catches one of the carved images in the woodwork, and it moves. Ugh. You lean forward to examine it. It's a small carved demonic face which can be moved sideways. Do you wish to see what lies behind the wooden face, or read through the letters? Ooh. Yeah, I could see either one. I think if we move the demon face, we're going to find a secret passage, which I love. Also, I'd like to know what's in these letters, though. So let's do the letters and hope that we can also still do the demon face. 264. Or 364, sorry. The letters are not particularly interesting, except for one from a foreign address, written in immaculate handwriting with a broad-nibbed black pen. It is addressed to the Earl of Drumer and appears to warn him of possible dangers. It starts by describing a raid of some sort on the writer's house and how he narrowly escaped being caught. It ends with a PS, which says, I also suggest you further protect yourself by changing the password on your own cache room. I, for one, know that it is Goathead. How many others know the same? Why not change it to something which will remind you of sound advice of a good friend? The letter is signed Count Pravemi. Okay, so we know a password here, and I betcha the password is actually Count Pravemi, and that is for cache password. Good find. You read this through again and replace the letter. Do you wish to leave the room or turn your attention back to the demon wall? Yeah. 85. Let's get into this cache and find some sorceress shit. Okay. The little carving moves to reveal a button set in the mantelpiece behind it. You consider whether or not to press the button. As you are deep in thought, you do not notice what is happening to the fire. In the grate, the fire has come to life. Strong flames are licking the chimney and considerable heat is being given off. You feel the heat and step backwards. As you do so, 2 small figures leap from the fire and face you. These fire sprites, oh weird, are small. They come to your knees, but their flaming bodies burn with the vigor of the fire which they arose. They hover in the air just above the carpet. For if they touch anything, it bursts into flames. Do I fight them or try another approach? Here's these guys. Those little critters. Okay. This is probably the last encounter we'll be able to do today. Do we fight these fire sprites or do we get on out? Or try another approach, it looks like. we might be able to, it doesn't say we run away. It just says try another approach. So, because I want to get into that secret passage. And we could still fight too. I could see either way. What do you guys think? Caffeinate it up real quick. Fight, another approach. Do. I might just call it with other approach. What is that? Another approach. Yeah, I'm not confident. I have a bad knife. It gives me 8 skill, which is not good, really. It's not terrible, but it's not good. Below average. So let's try another approach. 145. Maybe we can pour the brandy on them and turn them into super sprites. 145. How will you hold off these advancing creatures? Will you pick up the brandy decanter or move slowly backwards towards the window? It seems like brandy is not going to put out fire. I think that feels like a trap. It is probably the thing I would do in real life, though. In just my lizard brain would say liquid fire. Yeah, let's, but also it's not necessarily brandy. It's like poison that knocked me out too. So I don't know if it's poison to brandy or if it's not brandy at all. The window too, though, it's raining really hard outside, which could also take these guys out. If anybody has any input, let me know. I can see a lot of different options for this. I guess maybe in an RP server thing, I would try the brandy. This could be awful and just set fire to the house and kill it. Yeah, but I don't want to die. As much as that would have this whole thing end at a good point, this cannot be the end of Ladick. Let's back towards the window. 64, where it's raining outside. And if we had to fight, we had to fight. Okay. The fire sprites follow you as you back towards the window. Pretending to be terrified, you make... Oh, here we go. You make for one of the plant pots... You make for one of the plant pot stands and attempt to hide behind it. But when the sprites are near enough, you strike. Grabbing a large plant pot on top of the stand, you hurl the contents over the creatures. The soil covers them and douses their flames. They have disappeared. Yeah. Turn to 375. So that was the smart thing to do. The brandy was a trap. 375. You step back up to the fireplace and examine the secret button again. Well, you press it, of course. 392. You press the button and hear a small click. Then you hear another sound, and you swing around to face the corner shelf. Besides this shelf, a sliding panel is open in the wall. You walk over to investigate and bend down to look at the opening. Too late, you realize that the panel has been revealed. It is not a tunnel at all, but a false opening. It's a weird sentence. The wall behind is solid, but it has served its purpose. You have been lured into a trap. What? You're standing on a trap door which opens beneath you, and you fall downwards. Oh, well, okay. Turn to 397. Okay, geez. That hardly seems fair. Down you fall for several meters until you finally land on a heap of something soft. Add 1 fear point for fright and test your luck. Okay. This isn't going well. Okay, so the way luck, we need to get below a 7. Or below. So yeah, we got 7. So our luck is holding steady for now. If you're lucky, you're unhurt. If you're unlucky, you had twisted your wrist. Deduct 1 skill point. That's big. Luckily, we didn't have to do that. You pick yourself up and verify that there's no serious damage. You have landed on a mound of earth and hay, and you realize that you're in a cellar underneath the house. The room is fairly small, with 1 door. Outside, you can hear a shuffling noise coming closer. Will you spring behind the door to surprise whatever is approaching, or do you quickly search the room for a weapon in case you need to defend yourself? We have that dagger. I think we should do an ambush. Get the element of surprise, turn to 6. The door slowly opens, and you hold yourself close to the wall. The man who enters is short and stocky, and appears to be bent double. Some weird Britishisms in this. He's not armed. He peers into the room and scratches his head. Evidently, he heard something and is perplexed at finding nothing in the room. Will you step forward and announce yourself, or keep hidden and hope that he leaves? Yeah, announce yourself doesn't seem like the right... Like, hello. Hello, my name's Chauncey LeDick. I'm here to use your phone. Mystery man, I wasn't poking around in any fireplaces. No, I didn't kill your antique fire sprites. Yeah, I guess we'd hide. I thought we were going to be able to attack this guy, which is what I was hoping for. I guess we will keep hidden and hope he leaves. 25. The little man stares once more into the room, shrugs his shoulders, and leaves, closing the door behind him. You're alone again. After waiting a few minutes, you decide to leave the room. Turn to 116. We are very close to being running out of time, so... outside the room, the passageway runs onwards to the door on the left. If you wish to continue the passageway, turn to 91, or explore the area, turn to 161. 166. I think that's where we're going to end it for today. So this was fun. I like this game a lot, and I'm looking forward to the gigantic stack of these that I have. I hope they're all this good. But we're going to go ahead and call it there for today, and we will probably wrap up House of Hell. Next entry, one way or another, we'll probably die, if I had to guess. Or we might be able to succeed still. We need some healing and everything. So thanks, everybody, for tuning in. This will go up on YouTube if you missed part of it, and the audio is still something I'm planning to do something with. I might just put those all up in a Patreon post rather than doing an RSS feed for them. I'm not sure yet. But thanks, everybody, for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will talk to you guys next Friday. Yeah, next Friday should be fine. Yeah, so we'll continue then. Thanks, everybody. Bye.